You have been out front on suggesting that IOUs or scrip will become some form of Grexit and new currency. Can you reaffirm that this morning?
Yes, we are going to see it for two reasons. One is that the government needs to pay its bills. It needs to pay pensioners. It needs to pay the civil servants. So the temptation to issue IOUs is very high. Second, they have to reopen the banks. You cannot run an economy with your banks closed. And the easiest way to reopen the banks, if the ECB is not providing more support from the ELA, is to recapitalize them yourself. So the temptation to issue IOUs goes up every single day, especially if there's no breakthrough in Brussels.
Mohammed, when scrip appears on the streets in Athens, does that signal a departure from the euro?
So we've seen this movie many times, and we've seen it, of course, in emerging markets. And one of the tragedies of the European crisis from the very beginning is that the leaders haven't understood that the best insights come from emerging market crises. So what have we seen? Governments are pushed into issuing IOUs, not because they want to, but because they have to for social reasons. Next thing you know, the IOUs start trading internally at a discount to, in this case, the euro. And they start evolving as a parallel currency. And next thing you know, you have a multiple currency system. But with one big difference, you control one of them, the issuance of IOUs, and somebody else controls the other one. So you can see quickly that de facto it's a replacement currency.
You mentioned lessons from the emerging market. I want you to explain to me, Dr. El-Erian, how Stanley Fischer doesn't turn to Janet Yellen and say, you have to delay until these markets stabilize.
For two reasons, Tom. First, Greece is small, so the economic contagion is very little. Greece doesn't even feature in the list of trading partners, and the impact through Europe is not likely to be very large. So the first reason why you can, for now, brush aside the Greek element when you look at U.S. rates is simply because the economic channel is not that important. Secondly, as was said earlier on your show, U.S. investors have had a long time to get out of Greek assets, and most of them have. There's been a massive transfer from private creditors to taxpayers. So when you look at the contagion elements, you only worry about one, the technical contagion, which is, do you get a spike in risk aversion? And so far, the markets are managing this process relatively well.